Hi, my name is Leo Rodriguez, and I'm doing a formative speech on the origin of the cowboy. I'm saying hi to you, to everybody here, and to thank you to the Professor Stoltz and the rest of the class. I begin with starting with the cowboy culture is very alive and well, not only here in the United States, but in Mexico, South America, Australia, and it originated initially in Spain. Was influenced by the Moors, the Arabic people, when they had conquered it, Spain. And when Spain took over and colonized the Americas, they brought that culture, which is a doma vaquero, which would be while you're riding or working. In other words, they would ride their horses and work. That was their line of work, day in and day out. Spain is also very arid and dry, and there's a lot of plains, similar to what it was in mountains, and similar to what was in Mexico, the northern part of Mexico and the southwest of the United States. When they brought the cattle and the horses, they let them go, and they later on bring them in and make more money. In other words, to ship to Europe and to the northern part of the United States. The earliest cowboy, which was born in Mexico, Zacatecas, was Don Juan of Onate, which by biography.com says that he brought 7,000 heads of cattle from North Mexico and brought it and crossed over the Rio Grande to New Mexico. And this influenced the whole trade going up and down, which later on the mestizos, which were half Spaniards, half Mexicans, or half Native Americans, created the Mexican people there. They started as the cowboy, the ranch hands that would take care of the haciendas for the landowners, which were of Spanish descent, pure Spanish descent. And later on, when the United States took over Texas and the Southwest, when the Anglos came, the initial word for cowboy is vaquero, and they anglicized it. They transferred it to English. They called it the cowboy, and they brought a lot of the influence from the Mexican culture and the way they would trade the cattle and the horses and the gear to use. It's more effective. The cowboy boots, to anchor yourself when you're roping a piece of cattle. And California also had their style, which was more skilled than the Texan vaquero. And when the Anglos came in there, developed that system. And so it did not only happen here in the United States, it went all the way down to South America as well, all the way to Brazil, Argentina. And eventually it ended up in Australia as well. They started exporting a lot of cattle and everything, and Argentina is actually one of the number one beef exporter in the world at this moment. But there's several misconceptions though about the cowboy, that they were gunslingers or whatever what it was, but actually they were just hard-working men, ranch hands. Basically, they didn't really get paid much. They would get paid in meat, or they were just taking care of their family. But a lot of their influence has spread through the world. The way they dressed, the way they spoke. Not only in the United States, but in Mexico, South America, and Argentina. And every single ethnic group has their own style of the cowboy. Like in Argentina and Brazil is the gaucho, and the style they cook, the cuisine. So the culture is very much alive and has influenced many parts of the country, especially when these areas are more open plains and dry and arid. Like Australia as well, they have that influence as well. But ever since the beginning, this development of different cultures combined created the cowboy culture, which I think there's not only, most Americans think it's only here, but it's throughout the world. So I think that it also and it will continue on. So thank you. That's my presentation on the origin of the cowboy and the cowboy culture.